It is me, it's that G-A-G-E, the Midwest Bluebird, Gage Briley. And if you want to know more and follow me on my socials, it's right down there, babe. But now, you are watching CCP Podcasting.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome back to Beyond the Bell Live. It is a Saturday night. It is 17th of January. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. It has been a long stream day today, let me tell you. I got up at 5 a.m., started editing content. First show was at 10. Second one was at noon. Third one was at 3. And we're rounding out the day with a bang. And we're rounding out the day with a show that I cannot wait to have. I've been waiting to talk to my guest today for such a long time. But before we get there, it's coming up. You can see above my head right there. Chapters 2 and 3. Chapter 2, next level. We're going to be invading Castleberry, Florida 2 weeks from tonight. It is going to be a thing. We've got 9 big matches on deck. I have got five debuts in Florida, if you can believe that. Devious Cass, Prodigy out of Jersey, Philadelphia area, main eventing against the House of Champions own GMJ. We've got Slade Porter, no avail. I've got the Pump Line, Antonio Rivers and Boa Silva making their debut from our friends at Primal Pro Wrestling against Reese Maddox and Kid Kuda. The list goes on and on and on. There are still a few tickets left for Chapter 2. Grab them at ccppodcasting.com. Chapter 3 is already selling as well. Los Angeles, get ready. March 28th, I cannot wait to get back out to SoCal, to get back out to the Valley, to our friends with Millennium Pro Wrestling and Primal Pro Wrestling. It is going to be a wild day, let me tell you. Main event of that show, it's already laid out, guys. 2 out of 3 falls with 2 of the best tag teams in Southern California. The Pump Line taking on the Brothers Divine. And that's not all. I announced last night on Throwdown with Matt, I did a run-in with my boy Dallas Dash. We've got a problem. We've got a Chuck Mercer problem. So Dallas Dash is, as announced last night, on the 28th of March. He's coming to Southern California, and he's coming to look at you, Chucky. And not only that, because I know you like to carry a pair of brass knuckles, I'm going to be in Dallas's corner. You better leave your knuckles at home, and let's see if you're as big and bad as you think you are. Now, you can get tickets there as well at ccppodcasting.com. Let's get into why we are here today. My guest, when I tell you that when I went to Legacy of Champions, and it was a fantastic card from top to bottom, but there was one match specifically that I was looking forward to the most, and it was the Student Showcase Battle Royal. And my guest today not only took part in that Student Showcase Battle Royal, brother won the Student Showcase Battle Royal. My guest today, he is the one, he is the only, Mr. Chayan Evans. How are you, sir? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live, man. How you doing?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing great. Thank you, Chris, for having me. How's it going, man?
It's going well, man. It's going well. It's new year. We're midways through the first month. Brother's been on a diet and he's already dropped 9 lbs, and I've got about 35 more to go. We're making some progress. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
All right. Good start. Good start to the year.
Yeah, we're getting there, man. It was time. I woke up one morning and I said to myself, we gotta make something happen. We gotta do something, because brother was getting a little big. So the goal weight is about 235. We're about 20 pounds away from that. When I hit 235, look out. It's going to be game time all over again. I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. But how are you? How's your new year started? Did you have a good holiday season?
I did. A lot of food, which I need a lot, and a lot of time with family as well. So that's always fun.
Absolutely. You can't ask for anything better than that. Real quick, before we get into our conversation, over on Twitch, Goth giving a shout out to you, welcoming you to the podcast and welcoming you to CCP Podcasting.
Thank you. How's it going?
Yeah, man, he's over in the Netherlands. It's 3 a.m. He must be lonely.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's from something that started over just watching an independent wrestling show to be where we are today is insane to me. And everyone else who's watching, if you're over on Twitch, how you doing? If you're checking us out on X, what's happening? If you're over on YouTube, what's up? Feel free to drop any questions in the chats and I'll get them worked in as we go on about our conversation tonight. So, Mr. Cheyenne, You, sir, have been on the radar for a little minute, just like a lot of folks that are in the House of Champions for our channel, because we've had a really great relationship with them since literally falling into them about a year ago to this month. If my numbers are right. Before we get to the House of Champions and how you got tied into there, I kind of want to know, where did your fandom start? So when you started watching professional wrestling, what was going on? What drew you in? What were some of the stories? What made you say, "Hey, man, I think that this is something I may want to try and do"?
All right. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a long story, but um, it was around, I want to say, maybe 6 years old. I used to, because I was born in Dominican Republic, and during that time, you would see it on cable here and there. I would see it. It always piqued my interest, but like I was so young, I didn't know how to work on TV. I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. Fast forward to 2016. I had moved here. I was already living here for 2 years. And it was during sixth grade in middle school. I had this group of friends, and turns out they watch wrestling. I'm like, oh, hey, like I remember I used to watch a little bit of it, but I wasn't too familiar. And then he actually put me on. Like, he was like, his name was Kevin. He was hardcore fan. He put me on. It was during the 2016 Royal Rumble. So it was January 2016. I remember I turned it on. I literally bought the pay-per-view. Like it was on the W Network. Made an account, and I watched the 2016 Royal Rumble first time. AJ Styles. I didn't know the Shield had broke out at that time, so I had to like go back, catch up. It all started in 2016, and I was hooked like automatically. Roman Reigns was my favorite. To this day,
He is
my favorite.
he is the one, right?
Yeah, that's the one right there. He's the one. But yeah, I was hooked on after that, but it wasn't really till I started watching Black and Gold NXT in 2018, and that's really I was hooked. Like Tommaso Ciampa, all time favorite. When his heel run in NXT, biggest fan. So I watched a lot of Black and Gold NXT, and I was like, I want to try it. But for the longest time, I just like you're scared to try new things. But I held it off for years. Probably around like last year, that's when I finally decided to do it. Um, I want to say it was Mania weekend for WrestleMania 40 in Philly. I was watching the TV, and Javon Evans they were interviewing him. And when he said his age, like we're the same age. So when he said he was, I believe at the time he was 19 or 20. When he said his age, I was like, okay, what am I doing? I'm sitting here, I'm watching him. I could be in that ring, or I could sit here watching, which that was me. And that's when I took the step, and now I'm here. So yeah.
Well, a couple of things. So when you talk about NXT, and this may be a hot take, and I hope that it's not, man, I love the black and gold era of NXT, like the original era of NXT. That first run, bro, you couldn't.
Yeah.
It was fresh. It was
Definitely.
different. They were bringing in all the top guys from all over the independent scene, and they were rolling. And it
Yeah.
was just not a big fan of the 2.0 era. I'll tell you that. When they swapped the logo, I went, probably need to take a step
Yeah.
back for a minute.
Yeah. Me neither. I like what they're doing more with it a little bit now, but 2.0 kind of lost me for a bit.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. We all fade in, we fade out a little bit as our fandom grows, and there's nothing wrong with it by any means. I always tell people, watch what you want to watch. If you like it, watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. And if I didn't like it, I didn't watch it. But I'm not saying that the 2.0 era was completely terrible by any means. Don't get me wrong. It has produced some of really good stars right now, and Braun Breaker is a prime example of that. Like, he was the face, and look at him now. He just went ballistic with Punk on the 1 year episode of
Yeah.
Raw. They produced their stars. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, that era, that black and gold, man, that took me back, as I have the visions. This is way back in the black and gold era of Sami Zayn first hitting the jump through from the outside of the ring through the turnbuckles into the tornado DDT spot. It's the first time I'd ever seen it. And I like lost my fucking mind. And then I found out he was El Generico. And then, of course, you go down that rabbit hole. And then it's like, man, these guys are so good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
It was great. That really had me hooked for so long, and I started watching it late too because I started watching around 2018. So after that, it was up for like what, another year maybe,
Mm-hmm.
a year and a half. It was a lot of fun.
Over on Twitch, welcome No Game. We see you, buddy. Over on YouTube, buy Bitcoin 3330. How are you? And one SFIU is throwing up some muscles. So you got some folks that are rolling in for you, bro.
Welcome, man. Welcome in.
Well, let me let's I love the fact that you sat down, and something else you just said was that it was like through Javon Evans just saying, hey, I'm such and such age, and you ask yourself, man, what am I doing? This is that was that moment. It was kind of like that crossroads, if you will, of trying to figure out and navigate, trying to get into the wrestling business. And from my perspective, I started training in 1999, 98, late 98. I had my first match in 99. So it was a completely different landscape and a completely different uh, set, old school mentality at best, right? Like just to put it in perspective. So when you really, really sat back and said to yourself, all right, let me see what this looks like. What was the process like for you? What did you do? How did you start looking into getting into training?
During this time, excuse me.
You're fine.
Sorry. Yeah, during this time, I was in Philadelphia for Mania Week, and it was in the Airbnb. I told myself the moment I get back to Orlando, I'm gonna look up some wrestling schools and get in contact with them and just get to it. See what the prices are like and everything. So I get back. I actually so before a lot of people don't know this, but before House of Champions, I was at another school. Um, I was there probably what 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Some personal stuff. I ended up leaving, but yeah, I signed up. I trained for 6 months, and I loved every minute of just being in the ring. Just it was everything like I imagined plus more. Like just being in the ring, even running the ropes. Something so simple as running the ropes. That to me so far, I love running ropes. Like I could just crisscross. Like that's fun. But yeah, the moment I tried it, it was like this is what I'm meant to do. This is for me, like for a fact.
I know that you put pen to paper at the HOC, and what I always like to talk about when it comes to training is, I mean, you look like you're pretty athletically sound to begin with, but so when you're deciding and you make it happen and you start training and you start going through, the aspects of it, what were some of the things that were difficult for you to hone in on, if anything at all? What were some of the challenges that you had to overcome to kind of get to where we're going with the conversation down the line, and that's obviously about the battle royal we'll talk about. But what did you face along the way there that you had to overcome?
And the cardio, man, like it's you look at it and it's like you think it's so easy, but once you try it, you go, you hate it. You hate every second of it. Like especially at the Hog, the cardio drills at Kikoa. When I first got there, like he had, I remember I think my first week I threw up because it was that bad. Like I was like, okay, I'm in here, I'm in for a treat. Like I better buckle up. This is no easy task. So the cardio was a big thing for me for sure.
Well, that's funny because like I took the Ric Flair approach. I was a big cardio guy back in the day. Like I was a stairmaster guy. That's what I prided myself on. I wasn't ever the biggest and the bulkiest, but brother, I could go 20 or 30 if I needed to, no problem. Like, and I could always make it look good. But cardio is kind of a make or break, man. You got to have it because if you don't, good luck. You can look like $1,000,000, but if you can't go more than 3 or 4 minutes, man, it's a tough road for sure.
Yeah.
But on the backside of that, the same question, well, just reverse. What were some things that came kind of naturally to you? What kind of surprised you? Like, oh, okay, I got this.
I guess just picking it up. Um, I definitely picked up a lot faster than other people. Like it just not to come off obviously cocky, but it just came easy to me. Like for example, pumping, whether it was flips, like some of like the chain, like just picking it up was faster. And then probably like I said, cardio was tough, but like everything else was just I don't know. Like you know when you're sitting on that TV, you're watching and you're like, I feel like I can do that. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, I feel like I can do that. And
Mhm.
then once I went on and tried it, it took a few attempts, but eventually it came a little bit easier.
I mean, I like to hear that. I like to hear that it did come a little bit more naturally. There are people who struggle with some things, but to see then hear that was not necessarily the case in your with you specifically, it kind of shows a little bit with the in ring work from what I was able to see. Now, what I didn't know was what kind of character I was going to see as the road to legacy was underway. Like obviously, I've talked to Gage and I've talked to Keikoa and I've talked to a lot of people at the House of Champions, and you know, before we get to that, you know, to the battle royal itself, when you're thinking about what you're going to be presenting, and for the record, guys, if you're out here and you haven't seen Legacy of Champions, you need to. It's over at the HOC Pro over on YouTube. Well, I didn't know what I was going to see character wise. And when I saw you walk out, and I went, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. What was the presentation like for you and putting together kind of this first, you know, go around, if you will, of who Cheyenne Evans is going to be?
Man, at first it was frustrating. Excuse me, from the start because seeing that the guys I was coming up with, like you know the five other guys, they kind of had like their characters figured out, you know. And to me, it was a rocky start because I didn't know what I was. You know, I had office hours meeting with Coach K, um, Jamie Stanley. There were a few ideas, but a lot of it wasn't clicking. Um, it wasn't until like, okay, outside of here, I'm a barber. I want to be heel. I get haircuts like almost every week, and then I started clicking, and it's like, okay, I'm this cocky guy. He thinks he looks better than everybody. He's always trying to look sharp, you know. So it started falling all into place little by little. But I wasn't like if I had to be your generic heel or babyface, like and then eventually find my way. Now I was okay with that too, you know.
Mhm.
Uh, at first it definitely was. It was a little frustrating, but I'm kind of happy the direction I'm headed with this character because there's still a lot that nobody has seen that I want to portray.
There's definitely a lot to flush out, but see, that's just the beautiful thing is you're just really getting started. So there's a lot of trial and error to play with to really fine tune before you get the big debut, you know, on HOC TV outside of the Battle Royal. Now, with the character work itself, like where do you see the character going? Where do you see the evolution of it when as you're in the process now of putting it together? What are you happy with, and what are some things that you're still working on?
Definitely working on getting a bigger mirror. Just looking back at the footage, like I realized that mirror is tiny, man.
bro,
Um,
bro, that was the best fucking answer. That was the best answer. I'm just, we're gonna get you a bigger mirror, bro. I got you.
um, aside from that, let's see. I mean, I'd say really just dive in like deeper into the character. Like, don't be scared to be even more extra with my character. You know, like I know I had the little laughs during the match. Like I want to dig deeper into that. Be even crazier, like delusional. Like I want to really like dig deep into that. I want to be this crazy dude. He's so confident that he looks better than everybody in the entire building, Jamie Stanley included. But he doesn't care, you know. Like I want to dive into deep into that and just obviously portray that.
There's definitely a lot. There's some room for sure, and just off of the snapshot that I got to see, and when I say snapshot, I mean I'm talking about the battle royal itself, and as you guys are training in the House of Champions, and I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Man, there's something special going on there with the entire setup, with Jamie Stanley, with Renee, with Keikoa, with Bowen, Bobby Fish at a time was there, GMJ with the kids camp. Like there's some really, really good stuff going on here. And, as legacy is approaching and, there's the rumblings that perhaps there's an opportunity for some trainees to get a shot. What was going through your head when you found out that there was a chance that you might be able to work on this show, and then to parlay that question into when they came to you and say, "This is happening, but we don't know when or where on the show, but you're going to get an opportunity."
All right, so I believe it was announced to us right before one of our shows. I don't remember the date exact or which show it was, but I remember they showed us the whole video package. And I remember at that point, like a fire just lit under me. I was like, I told myself I'm gonna be on that show. At that point in the curriculum, I was probably halfway through the curriculum at that point. But I told myself, I don't know how I'm gonna speed through this curriculum. I'm gonna make it on that show. I was confident. I remember talking to Gage and Jaden after. I was like, we're gonna be on that show. Um, and yeah, that just motivated me to work even harder. And I don't think I didn't want to ask coach anything like, hey, like, will I be on it? I was just so confident that I would be on that show. I waited. And it was because I had my gear already being made. Um, I just needed the curriculum basically at that point. So it wasn't until we did the excuse me, oh my god. It wasn't until we did the whole photo shoot, the video shoot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like, I'm gonna be on the show. I was confident. And then the rumors started about a battle royal happening, and I was like, we're gonna be on that battle. I was just I don't know. I just knew. Like I just knew.
Well, sometimes when you know, right? Like, yeah, it's just like being in the ring as you gain more experience in front of live crowds, you're going to see and you're going to feel and you're going to understand. Like, the crowd never lies, and you have to feel that. And if you once you know how to feel that, like they have that gut instinct and that gut intuition. I do want to take a minute over on YouTube. Let's see, we got Matthew Espina. I hope I'm going to botch your last name, bro. Ospina is saying Danny, and there's definitely some stuff that I can't read. I'm so sorry. I don't understand what he's saying, but there's something there. And then we've got Buy Bitcoins cheering you on, Chayan Evans. So you got some folks that are rolling in for you here, showing some love and support, man.
Yeah.
That's also got to feel good. This is your first podcast and your first time sitting down and even discussing anything like this with somebody that you barely even know. To be fair, I think we got a chance to meet at Legacy for a brief second, but it was
Yeah.
very, very brief because I know my
It was
place.
like,
Yeah, I know my place. That was not my place to like try and take up time. There was a lot of people that were there to support you guys. There were a lot of people there to see you, and there were a lot of people there that wanted to talk to all of you guys. I would imagine after that event, I was just very grateful that I got my, hey man, that was good. We need to talk. Like I got to say that. That's all I needed to say to you because I'm just not that guy. I would rather, if I'm at a live event and I've got somebody that I am going to talk to, if they're, got people around them or they're, dealing with fans or at a gimmick table, man, I don't want to approach you because the whole name of the game is to be there for them. You're there for the crowd. You're there for the fans. Like, they deserve the time. I can always get mine, always down the line. Look, right now, we set this up a month ago. And unfortunately, I wish I could have gotten you on sooner because I really, really, really want to have this conversations and specifically about the Battle Royal because now we get there. And, I think it's impressive that a student show sold 340 tickets. I think that's wild. And I think that is insane. And as I'm seeing these announcements go out, I had gotten with Renee in the HOC, and we had a chance to sponsor a piece of the event, and that was just to show our support, continued support for what you guys have going on, because you've entertained us, you entertain my audience, and as you guys progress, especially the trainees coming up, you are going to entertain my audience to come. So it was one of those situations to where when we set this thing up, man, I see the announcements going out and I see the Student Showcase Battle Royal, and I marked out. I don't mark out often, and I was at work when I saw it. One of my coworkers, one of the guys who works for me, came through my office when I saw the announcement, and I was like losing my shit. And he asked me, "What is going on?" Oh, nothing. It's wrestling. It's wrestling. Don't worry about it. It's wrestling. Go back to work. And I just thought that it was really cool. And then to be there and to see all you guys come out. So you're getting ready to walk out. All of you kind of get the chance to have that moment to walk to the ring. You are behind that curtain. It is about your time to rock and roll. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know the internal reaction as you're walking out in front of a pretty packed house.
And I was so nervous. Like, I was just walking back and forth. I was jumping. I was so nervous. But I'm grateful. The guys in the back, they came up to me, or I think it was Jamie came up to me. He's like, "You'll be good, bro. You'll kill it." So I'm grateful for them. They calmed me down a bit. But once I walked through the current, it disappeared. I blacked out. I wasn't even there. I don't even know what happened. After that, I just blacked out. But obviously nervous, excited, all the emotions you can think of, I was going through before I walked out.
You strutted ass out, brother. You didn't just walk out. You commanded the room. You came out. That's what I said. I didn't know what to expect. And I told Gage the same thing because I had an opportunity to talk with him, obviously, on a previous episode. Part of several fronts for me, which made that match like my most anticipated, was it was the first time for me, until just before we went on the air, that I got a chance to see the full presentation of what everybody has been working on. Not just you, not just Gage, Brendan, the Hunter, like the whole, all six of you. Because I haven't seen all I've been able to see is clips or our clips. I haven't been able to get the full presentation. And as one by one walks out, like I see Gage come out, and I can't help it. I start laughing, not in a malicious way. It's because I'm a 60s guy. I'm a hippie. So when I see that, I was like, oh, brother's coming out with peace and love. He's going to be a Hendrix mark. Let's go. And then I see you come out, and I went, because at that point I didn't even really know that much about you. I've just seen clips, and I tend to try and follow everybody from the HOC. So when I see your stuff, I can share it. I can put it out there on our platform, because that's just how I feel about the HOC and everybody attached to it. We're here to help. And if we can put you out there in front of a new audience and put you out there in front of somebody who hasn't seen you before, and they're like, oh shit, let me go check that out, that's a win the whole way around. So and I say all that to say, you walk out and you strutted, bro. You came out, you threw that mirror up. I went, what the fuck am I watching? And then it drops, the mirror comes down, and it was like a whole different level. And you got down to the ring, and you guys proceeded to tear it down, exceeding every expectation that I even had for the match. And it made me so happy, because that was a last minute decision, like for me, because to get there, it's about 2.5 hours from my front door, and I had a late meeting at work, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it in time, and I barely did for the full show, but that made the drive worth every minute of it, because not only did all of you go out there and you knew the assignment, you put it together, and you executed the play, and you did it to damn near perfection, to the point that I want to make a point to say that it drew the only "This is awesome" chant of the entire show. That's you guys. That's your work on your debut. Whether it's Battle Royal, whether it's a singles, whether it's a tag, it doesn't matter. You guys went out there and knocked that out of the park. So as the reality is set in, the nerves are starting to go away, or did they go away at all as this thing is playing out? And from your perspective, kind of walk me through the match and what were some of your highlights of it, and what were some of the things that stand out to you?
So yeah, once I walked out there, everything just all the nerves just disappeared. It was just like click. Um, one thing that I found funny, I wish I wasn't stressing about at the moment, but I was stressing about time because I knew we were over our time, and I remember going to Hunter, and I'm like, "Yo, we got 2 minutes, bro. We gotta go." So I threw him over the top, and I remember I hit him with a drop kick. He stayed on the apron, and I'm like, "Oh my god, we're done. We're done for." I'm like, you know what? We still got 5 people in here. We got 2 minutes left. We're just gonna do our thing, whatever. If coach is mad, I'm sorry, won't happen again. Um, I remember after that moment happened, I was just listening to the crowd, and they were chanting for Gage, like this is awesome chants, like just I really got to feel like it was just I can't even explain it. It was just so good, like that every moment of that match, the moonsault, face off with Gage, Jading and I teaming against Gage was probably one of my favorite moments. Um, everything was just I have like no complaints. Everything went perfect.
Well, that feeling that you're talking about, that's the feeling of hard work paying off. That's what that is, because it takes work to even get to that point, to even get to that opportunity. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody ever sees. I know. I've been there. I've done that. There's a lot of time that you have to give up. There's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes into really taking this seriously and being a bona fide professional wrestler. There's a lot that goes into it. And you guys, like I said, when you go out there and you put on something like that, first of all, it only makes me eager to see more and to see what happens next, and what can happen next, and what might happen next. Like, the fantasy booker in my head just starts saying, ooh. And when we get to the finish of this thing, as you know, man, I had Gage on the show, and I had to correct Brother Man because he was trying to say that you cheated to pull the dub. And I said, no, sir, he didn't. It wasn't his fault that you didn't wear shoes.
Exactly.
And last time I checked, stepping on somebody's big toe wasn't illegal. So
Exactly. There you go.
as I am sitting at ringside, now this is what I didn't tell Gage, as I am sitting at ringside and watching this thing play out, I didn't know who was going to fucking win. I had no idea. At the end of the day, I won as a fan. I won because I was there and I was witnessing this thing, because you get one debut. You get one of them. And again, with how close I feel like we are to the HOC and you guys, like, I was not going to miss it. Obviously, I followed Gage, and Gage and I have had a lot of interactions. He's done some stuff with us in the past, and he's going to be able to do some stuff with us in the future. And I wanted to be there for him, and I wanted to be there for Hunter, who, after the fact shows up. Before the fact, shows up at our live event in November. Shows up because he was with Gage, without asking, without even, just second nature. There were some things I forgot. You know, like I just didn't think about somebody getting the gear for the guys at ringside. Something so small, but something so serious when you guys are putting money into your gear. Brother just hopped in and just made sure everybody's stuff got back. It wasn't didn't ask, just did. So like I wanted to be there, and then I got to see you, and I've seen your clips leading up to this. Everybody attached to this thing, but old brother man said you cheated. I say you didn't, and I want to say from my perspective or your perspective, you know, if you could take it back, would you?
Of course not. I wouldn't take nothing back. No, just wear boots, bro. Just I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
When it all went down, brother, and the bell finally sounds, and you hear your name, and you
Oh
hear the
my God.
boos ringing out, because I thought Gage was going to win this thing. That was where I was going. My ADHD
I
kicked in, bro. I'm
I think
sorry.
everybody thought Gabe was gonna win.
I totally did. As this thing started dwindling down, I was like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna put it on Gage. They're gonna do it. Their Gage is gonna pull the win." And Renee was able. She let me film, right? So she's not, you know, I wasn't filming full matches, but I was definitely trying to get like some really good clips, and I got the finish, and I refused to even play it and put it out there until it was either acknowledged that you had won or they had put out the show, right? As soon as someone acknowledged it, then I would put the clip out there because I don't want to spoil anything. But when that bell sounds, your arms raised in victory, and you hear this thing, and you have to feel like this is a success.
But I was so happy. I was like, keep them coming. But at the same time, is it's hard to even tell you like a lot of what was going through my mind because I just like I said, I just blacked out.
Mhm.
I went out there, I just blacked out. It's like I knew my task, I knew what I had to do. I went in there to win it, and like there's very few moments where I remember like what was going on in the moment or listening to the crowd. But after I like stomped on him, pushed him off the apron, at that point I was like I just blacked out. Um I don't even think I remember my name being out. Like I don't remember that at all.
Well, you pulled the win there, and it was tremendous to say the very least. And I know that, you know, for all of you who have worked so hard to get that opportunity and on the big stage, like this is the WrestleMania for the HFC for all extents and purposes. Like this is the show. And I did talk to Keiko obviously after the fact, after the show premiered. I did find out that you guys went over your time, and uh, and and I heard his answer was, if you know, if you go over your time, you better make sure it's good. And you guys pulled the "this is awesome" chant, so I think it's okay, and we'll pass on any kind of craziness or any kind of disciplinary action, if you will. But when you walk back through that curtain, there was something else that I felt was, and not just myself. I know that everybody in that building felt it, in that theater felt it. There was a massive roar from what was going on backstage, and I can only imagine that roar was a standing ovation for the six of you for the performances that you went out there and put on. So when you come back through that curtain, I didn't get a chance to really. I talked to Gage a little bit about it, but I want to hear from you. You have all of your peers there, everybody that you've worked with, everybody that is working there at the HSC, and you are getting a part, you and everyone attached are getting a standing ovation.
Yeah, man. The love was crazy. I remember walking back. I seen the rest of the guys. It was just crazy. Like, everybody came out. They were just super supportive. Like, yo, you guys killed it. You went out there and you look like you've been doing this for years. It was just so grateful because I got so emotional. Like I couldn't even speak. Like I just had my head down. I remember GMJ coming up to me. Man, I gave that guy. We just hugged, man. We hugged everybody, like the whole battle royal, everybody for the battle royal, just huge hug. And I remember walking. I was like, I was looking for Gage. And I don't know. That guy disappeared, and then I go deep into the locker room and I find him. And I just hugged him, breaking kayfabe over here. But man, it was just so grateful. The support was crazy. It was great. Everybody at the Hawk is so supportive.
Well, I'm already fantasy booking Cheyenne versus Gage. I think everybody is. I think that is, and I know that there's no stories to that were supposed to be planted or anything of that nature from the Battle Royal, according to Coach K. But I also know Coach K, and I know that he likes to plant seeds early to start letting things grow. And I truly feel like that is a seed that has been planted because I think there's money there. I think there's money with you versus Gage if it's done right, and obviously it will be if that ever happens. From especially from the HOC, I think that there's something there, man, and there's no denying from one of the 340 who was able to see it live and witness it in person. And I will definitely go over to Diego Barbarian in chat when I make this statement. Bro got so much aura. You commanded a room and you commanded an audience, and this was just the first time. You know what I mean? So what I take out of it is if you did this well on round one, I can only imagine how well round two is going to be.
Oh yeah.
So what are you currently
So
working on? Is there anything you can talk about that you're currently working on outside of continuing education and continuing professional wrestling at the HOC? And is there anything about Legacy of Champions that you want to touch on that we didn't already cover?
first things first. Something I'm working on. I mean, at the Hawk, I can't say much. I would just say stay tuned.
Dope. Say less.
Definitely working also on becoming Greenlit officially because I want to be everywhere, man. All over wherever I can go in the Indies, even if it's going to Japan, Europe, UK, whatever. Like I'm working to get Greenlit. But outside of that, dang, really just working on that, bro. I'd say just becoming Greenlit right now is probably one of my main focus.
Well, let's look into the future, if you will. Let's play a game that I like to say, Manifestation 2026. When you get greenlit, obviously, and I ask everybody who comes on the show these questions. These are kind of the as we wind down questions because I never know how long the conversation may be as you give answers and as we talk about it. Well, I want you to keep in mind that we cast a wide net. We do have a lot of friends here in the States as well as internationally, and we make a lot of really good friends. So from your perspective, when you get greenlit, again, Manifestation 2026, where are some feds out there that you want to work? Where are some places that are on your radar?
Definitely I'd say local pro wrestling. There's EWA. Off the top of my head, those are two right now because I know they also recently had shows. Yeah, those are two off the top of my head right now. But I know there's one in I think is in North Carolina or South Carolina. I don't remember. I think it's FWE.
Yep, that's where
I
Matthew Penis is attached to.
yes.
Why?
I was there. I was there. I think in was it November? I think I went November. I went with GMJ and Gage.
Yeah.
Um, it was really cool to see like everything backstage and then that the actual show take place. I think they got a pretty cool thing going on there. So definitely in the future, I would love to be a part of that. But yeah, those are the ones off the top of my head right now.
Well, I'm gonna throw this at you, and here's your curveball for the show. As you're well aware, maybe you're not. I mean, obviously you are. You're here at the top of the show. We are indeed running live events. We are doing live events, several. I think we're doing 10 over the month of 2026, and we're in 3 different cities from Casselberry to Los Angeles to San Antonio, Texas. So part of why I wanted to have you come on the show is I wanted to, kind of pique your interest and see if you're interested in tangling with us when you get greenlit, because I'd love to give you an opportunity on one of our shows somewhere after that happens. I think that you have a very, very bright future. Truly do. Off of just one match and what I got the opportunity to see, I know that you're somebody that if we put you in front of an audience, you're going to be money. You're going to be money, and you're going to go pretty far. So that option's out there for you. When that green lit comes, all you need to do is just hit me up, and we'll make a room up for you on one of our Orlando shows for sure, and get you in the ring with some people from the HOC, or we got some friends that come and hang out with us and find some good matches for you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, 100%. I'd love to.
Well, I'd love to do it, man, and we'll make it happen. As soon as you get that certificate, you just let us know, and then we'll go from there. So, talked about some places. Let's talk about some people. Who are some guys out there that are on the scene that you wouldn't mind tangling with if you came around to it? You're all right, brother.
One that I've seen an independent that I love his style. Brian Atomic is one, and there's these two. Because the person I know him personally, I'd say Raylan Bennett.
Yep.
And CJ Mallory.
Okay. Well, anyway, you got more? Go ahead.
Obviously, if we're talking HOC, gotta get running back with Gage. I'll give him a chance to try and redeem himself, but I don't know if it's gonna work out for him. A lot of the HOC guys, Jaden, Hunter, Brandon, BMJ, like everybody from HOC is great. They're super talented, so I'd love that.
Well, maybe in Gage's case, he may wear boots next time. And even if he does, you better call back to that fucking stomp on the toe, bro. That should be almost in every match kind of situation.
If I gotta remove the boot myself and target his foot, I'll do it, man.
Even if he's not
illegal, I don't think.
Even if he's got a boot on, man, just step on the toe, just step on the boot. It'll be fine. So yeah, you mentioned a couple of those. Obviously, I'm very familiar with Brian Atomic, and I'm very familiar with Raylan Bennett. I've got some dates on Bennett later on in 2026 in Orlando. I think that guy is freaking tremendous too. Had a chance to see him live a couple of times, and I'd seen again one of those situations where clips don't do him justice. They don't do him justice. They don't do his work justice. He is big, he is powerful, and he can get a reaction. There's a lot to him, and I can't wait to see more. And again, it's just one of those deals, man. There's so many hidden gems everywhere, and I say that to say, like, when I talk about hidden gems, that's where you guys fall into. I got a chance to see 6 hidden gems debut just a little over a month ago. And to this day is still. Let me tell you something. And I'm not sure. I think you are aware. I tagged you in the post. I put that match, that battle royal, on par and as a match. And keep in mind, we watch wrestling all over the United States. I mean, all over the world. Excuse me, not just the United States. Everywhere. We have affiliates everywhere. We watch. I mean, I couldn't tell you 40 hours a week of wrestling. Just about. I put that battle royal on a list of matches that you should watch to our audience, and that is within hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of hours of watched footage last year. That is a testament to what you guys did. Congratulations! I loved the battle royal. I loved the finish. I loved this conversation thus far, man. And then I have one more question for you on the way out. And we talked about some people. We talked about some places. A question that I usually ask everybody, and again, this may just be strictly to the HOC, but who are some people that we should be watching? Who are some people that we should be looking out for? Who are some people that we need to keep our eyes open for either debuts or just in general from your perspective? It could also be individuals that you tape study. It could be anybody that has crossed your path that you feel like we should be watching.
I'll go ahead and I'll mention CJ Mallory again.
Yep.
Great dude. He has a bright future, definitely. I think he has a match tonight actually at the establishment. So, um, let's see. Bren. Well, he goes by Aaron Trinado.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Battle Royale as well. Super underrated, bro. I love him. He's great. Definitely watch out for him. He's gonna be very good. There's so many people, man. Off the top of my head, I'll give you those two.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll take them, and they'll go on our sheets, and we'll definitely be taking looks and taking long looks down the line. Well, before we get ready to tie a bow on things, man, I always turn this over to you guys, to my guest. Is there anything that you want to plug? Is there anything you want to throw out there? Anything you want to talk about before we sign things off?
Guys, it should be here, right?
It is indeed.
Want to go ahead and add me on Instagram at Chayan Evans, I believe, right here. Hey man, just be on the lookout for the HOC boys, man. Everybody, there's some good stuff coming this year, and I can't speak about it all, but I hope and I think that people will enjoy it. Just be on the lookout for that.
I think that it's gonna be a good year, bro. It truly is gonna be a good year. I mean, I think that you've really got a bright future, and as soon as this thing, this green light happens, and you're able to get out there and really make a name for yourself, it's not a matter if, it's a matter when. It's all about determination and it's about attitude. And you've got the right one of those just based off of sitting down with you for the last hour or so. Just talking, and this was your first podcast, this first appearance that you've ever done with anybody, and I think that you did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself, sir.
Thank you.
Hopefully, this is the first of many conversations that we can have down the line, because I definitely want to have you back on as we get some progression, we get some things moving forward. And I tell you what, we'll set a date for a follow up once we get a debut, if we don't circle around before then, because I definitely want to find out what your thought process is once you'll be full time, whether it's on the HSE and wherever we can get you out there on the independent scene.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been my pleasure. For my guest today, Mr. Chayan Evans. Before I get out of here, guys, I'm so sorry. How rude. I want to thank each and every one of you who have shown up, who have chatted, who have shown some love for our guest today. I'm not sure how you guys know him, but I'm sure he'll be pleased to know that you are all here. Paul, you just barely made 33, buddy. You better count your blessings. And again, if you watched on Twitch, thank you. If you're over on X, thank you. And YouTube, thank you as well. Hit the subscribe buttons everywhere. Check out what we've got going on. We are deep diving the independent scene like no other. Now, for my guest tonight, Mr. Chayan Evans. I am Chris Page, and this is where I say we will see you next time.
Thank you so much.